ready to get your faces melted? If you answered yes, then you answered wrong. You're not ready, because today we've got a metal hack. A metal hack! The concept is simple, elementary almost. An ordinary Super Mario World hack, but with the most badass soundtrack you could ever imagine. Yeah, from what I've heard, the author has taken a bunch of metal tunes, converted them over into Super Mario World music, and used them as the game's soundtrack, making this the most brutal Super Mario World hack that any metalhead could ever conceive. If this hack really does turn out to be as awesome as it's sounding right now, then I almost don't even care how good it's gonna be. All these images of Mario and metal are floating through my head right now, and it is amounting to a mountain of awesome. You're gonna be collecting mushrooms to Mastodon, busting Bowser's butt to Burzum. I can't wait to play this.
Original game made by Nintendo. Oh, now there's an improvement. And here we have our title screen along with our first metal song. It's AC/DC.
It sounds like crap.
Yeah, this is metal, alright. Metal synthesized through an Atari 7200 at the bottom of the ocean. Well, maybe it gets better, I won't judge. Okay, Black Sabbath? Well, I recognize it, but it's the most bare-bones version of Iron Man I've ever heard. Just listen to it.
You can't even try to headbang to this. If you played this in your car, people would think your muffler needed a check or something. Hey Keepon, you're into music. Let's see what you think of it. See, this is a robot built to dance to any music. He doesn't know what to think.
This is such a joke. The hack is centered around the music, but this almost doesn't even qualify as music. It's the most bare-bones simulacrum of heavy metal that I could ever conceive. Like, you've got the original. Then you've got the MIDI version. And then you have a metal hack.
The only thing I can even imagine that could make it worse from here would be to play it on cell phone buttons or something.
Ah, screw that. We haven't really begun to judge the game itself. What's the premise of this? Apparently a princess gets captured by a funk guy. What, like Herbie Hancock or somebody? So this dude with a mop top has to go save her. You've gotta love a custom character that only goes as far as putting some other head on Mario's body. So who's this? Mario's normal cousin? And I must mention that it says, go with God. Any metalhead knows it should say Satan. Okay, so now we're on the overworld with some generic guitar riff playing in the background. This is another one of those games where you're just a floating head, too. Let's check out the first stage, Underground 1. Wait a second. Nirvana?
What? Nirvana? You've gotta be kidding me! That's fucking grunge. That's not even metal at all!
And I'm not gonna lie, so far this song has sounded the closest to the original. Like this was the one they spent the most time on. It shouldn't even be in the game. Nirvana's not metal. In fact, I'll say it again. I'll carve it into the moon with a giant laser, so every night everyone in the world will be absolutely sure Nirvana's not metal! Well, something else you're probably gonna notice right off the bat is that this hack has the same kind of numerical hit point system as K16 or assfuck dog shit. And MP, what's that? Metal points? I guess if that's the case, our score's 0 so far. Oh, I see. It's one of those kinds of games where you have to pay to use your fireballs. I hate that bullshit. Why would they make me do that? I got the power up. What more are you gonna ask of me? I'm not even gonna bother talking about this stage anymore. So next we have the Paranoid Sea. That's better, back to Black Sabbath. Except this one sounds horrible! The drums sound completely off, like they called in kindergartners to play the percussion, and when the guitar starts riffing, it sounds like the game is freezing up.
could they do this to Black Sabbath? Oh God, make it stop!
It truly is no wonder that when your character ducks, it looks like he's covering his ears. You know, all while I've been talking about all these musical abominations, I haven't mentioned anything about the level design or the enemy placement or anything. That's just because those are like a few day-old gym socks overwhelmed by the scent of a giant dumpster full of dead skunks. What's there to say about these stages anyway? They're flat, they're boring, you can just run through them most of the time and jump over most of the enemies. It's like Mario's cool mission. I swear, every time I have to make that comparison, a part of me keels over and dies inside. In fact, because of that numerical life meter, you have more hit points than you'd ever need in a game like this, so you could probably just run through everything if you wanted to. It's the kind of game you could probably play blindfolded and come out okay. And another thing I must ask is what's with the level names? I mean, they're all supposed to be references to music, but if you didn't know that, they just sound like random shit. Like, imagine if the original Super Mario World had level names like that. Paranoid Ocean? So what, is the water afraid? Eddie's Oasis? I haven't identified the song for this one, but I'm assuming they're referring to Eddie Van Halen or somebody. It's not like he actually appears in the game, though. And you know, I don't even think this guy can hear the music in his little world, so the only thing he's thinking all along is just, who the fuck is Eddie? What's up next? American Plains. So what, now we're in America? Oh my god. This is a joke. You have got to be kidding me. Are you serious? Oh, sweet Lord, have mercy! Green Day?
It's American Idiot by Green Day. Now they really crossed some lines here. In fact, I invite you to think. Just think for a moment about how this game has regressed. We started out with AC/DC, okay, pretty metal. Black Sabbath, now we're getting there. And then Nirvana, which isn't even metal. And now Green Day, which has never had any molecule to do with metal and never will. What's the next stage gonna be? Belle and Sebastian?
Speaking of which, you wouldn't believe the goal music. Now for this one, I'm sure the author is smart enough to realize that's not metal, but the question still remains. Why is it in the hack? If they're honestly trying to sell that as metal, I think I'm just gonna shoot myself. And you know, I've identified that overworld music too. That's it. Shoot me. Just fucking shoot me. Well, that's technically the end of the game, but there's an end of demo level, and it's actually a real stage. Just watch this, it's such an acid trip. You have to use this portal thing that looks like the teleporters in Electra. And then in this section, you get to meet this hack's version of Yoshi, some green dragon that kind of looks like a deformed Charizard. It has this disembodied tongue that it just shoots out of its mouth. Like, look at this is just great. Just imagine if you're walking down the street, and all of a sudden, a flying tongue phases through your back, and then you magically stick to it and fly backward. What kind of drugs was this guy on?
So, there you have it. A metal hack isn't very metal. In fact, you know, I think I could make a hack like this. It's gonna be called a classical symphony hack. Yeah, that'd be the title screen, but when you get to the first level, the music is a flock of seagulls. And then on the next stage, it's the Acid Mother's Temple. Yeah, if you've never heard that band before, consider yourself lucky. And consider yourself lucky if you never have to play a metal hack. But I've got some good news for you. Yeah, I think the concept of a brutal Super Mario World hack still has a chance to redeem itself. And I'm not talking about brutal Mario. We're talking about Vikings. Yeah, grab your battle axes, because get a load of this title. Mario in Midgard. Can you get more metal than that? Well, we're gonna find out, because next time, we're playing it. Oh no!